Welcome to Volleyball sport-specific training. Some topics of discussion include biomechanics, sport demands, common injuries, and prevention. So some biomechanics within the sport of volleyball, you're going to see a lot of triple extension. That's going to come mostly from the jumping. So as we can see in image 1, that athlete is in triple extension there. So that's extension of the hip, knees, and ankles simultaneously to produce force. There's a lot of change of direction and lateral movement. So staying nice and low and ensuring that you can quickly move laterally and get super low to ensure that you can defend against those attacks. So you can see image number 3 there. That athlete is very low to ensure that she can keep that ball in play and defend against the opponent's attack. There's also a lot of overhead smashing. So that'll come from the serve, from spikes. Image number 2 there, you can see that athlete's really cocking that arm back to produce large quantities of force with a lot of upper body rotation. And then there's going to be a lot of lower to upper body energy transfer. So while they're jumping, they want to be loading and taking that force, putting it into their arm so that they're able to attack and effectively produce high forces. Some sport demands, some physical sport demands. We're looking at anaerobic capacity and aerobic endurance. So the average game of volleyball will last 1.5 to 2 hours with some breaks in between and are generally a best of 5. Depending on the skill and the length of rallies, those points can be very long. So having that aerobic endurance is going to be very good in those longer matches and rallies. Where that anaerobic capacity comes in is their ability to be very fast and explosive and produce high forces within a short period of time, and also that recovery between rallies and points where they're able to quickly reset and be able to produce that again. There's going to be a lot of mobility needs, as mentioned before, finding very deep positions in order to defend against attacks and staying low throughout the entirety of the time, so putting a lot of strain on those hips. Core stability is going to be needed, so jumping in the air and ensuring that their trunk is controlled and they're able to use that core to provide that rotation while also being able to absorb force on landings. Core stability becomes very important. Neural efficiency, so that is their ability to effectively anticipate and react to plays made by the opponents, whether it be going up for a spike and having the opponents up blocking, being able to react and play that spike into a different location, or just finding that empty space on that play, or setting that ball to your teammate as they're getting ready for a spike as well. Lateral speed, so again, very laterally dominant sport, staying nice and low, moving side to side quite a bit with deep positions, so ensuring that they have the ability to achieve full ranges of motion laterally as well as forward as well is going to be super important. Some technical demands, the athletes have to ensure that they're dialed in on their serving, their attacking, so that'll be their spikes, their blocking, their passing, and then also their defense. Some common injuries include knee injuries, so that'll be jumper's knee, could also be from physically landing on their knees through dives in order to make plays. Some prevention for that, we're going to look at lower limb strengthening to support the entire knee joint through full ranges of motion, and then also some isometrics, so we can do movements such as our squat with full range of motion, our RDL with full range of motion, and then some isometrics include wall sits or our split squat iso. Another common injury is going to be ankle sprains. With the sheer amount of jumping that these athletes do and the amount of landing, their ankles take quite a big beating from the amount of force that they have to absorb. So some things that can help would be strengthening that calf, again, to support that joint. So we can do movements such as our calf raise. We'd want to be training it with a bent knee and a straight knee as well. And then ankle stability. So how we can do that is through ankle isometrics, which could be our calf strengthening with that calf raise, making it an iso now. And we'd also want to include plyometrics as well so that they can develop that ankle stiffness. Shoulder injuries are also common. Shoulder gets quite abused in the repetitive movements that are done overhead by a lot of the athletes. So some important notes would be strengthening that shoulder through full ranges of motion, especially overhead as well. So we're going to want to ensure we're doing overhead presses with full ranges of motion, and then increasing our shoulder stability. So ensuring that our rotator cuffs are nice and strong and able to stabilize that shoulder blade and allow that shoulder to move efficiently around that rib cage. So we can do a movement such as a face pull with a emphasis on that external rotation. Another common injury is going to be low back pain. So being in very deep positions puts a lot of strain on the back, and the amount of core stability it takes to complete movements within the sport. So our best plan here to prevent that is going to be strengthening the core. We're going to want to do that through all movement planes. So we're going to want to do that within flexion, rotation, and then extension as well. So for our flexion, we can do V-ups, or we can do a hollow body hold. For our extension, we can use a GHD, do some glute ham raises. We could also do some, for our rotation and anti-rotation, we're going to look at the pull-off press or chops. Another common injury is going to be concussions. That's from just the impact of the ball hitting them. In some cases, our best angle to approach that is going to be supporting the head and neck by strengthening that neck. So we're going to do some ankle or some neck isometrics within different angles and positions so that that neck is nice and strong and able to support that head through that contact.